had, I mean, quite coincidental that you're in a seat named after
Peter Waite.
Yeah, obviously was very much instrumental in this building. What sort of response have you had to the potential for this building to go?
Look, the importance of heritage is so critical to my community. We've had a lot of representations from people who live in the suburbs around here, but all the way through my community, who say heritage is important and we should preserve it. And to knock over a heritage building such as the Gatehouse here, in order to facilitate B-doubles to come down Cross Road, is actually not what we want in our community.
There's a train of thought that it's immovable, that to dismantle it and reassemble it elsewhere would be nigh on impossible. Do you agree with that train of thought?
Look, that's not my understanding. I understand that there was an Adelaide business that put in a tender to DIT in order to facilitate the moving of the building. What I would like to know in the process is, did the independent engineers quoted in the paper meet with the tenderer? Did they discuss the ability to move this building? I understand that it can be moved, and if it can be moved, we should be moving it.
David, I recall a conversation that you had some years ago about the proposed freight route actually going from Portrush Road down Cross Road to join up with what will then be a new north-south corridor. Do you have recollection of that as well?
Yeah, well, we certainly did. There was a lot of, and I think there still is some concern. Some people might welcome the idea of expanding the role of those roads that feed in eventually to South Road, and the obvious one is Crossroads. Look, it's an old building. They say it's going to cost too much to relocate it, or it's just not physically possible.
Yeah.
And it's got to go.
Is that still on the agenda, Sam, to look, that freight potentially this will become the main freight corridor?
Very much my understanding. My understanding is from the department that once north-south corridor is completed, Cross Road will become the new freight corridor for the B-doubles coming down the hill, down Cross Road, into South Road of the Port.
The other point here is, and this has been raised with me a number of times, is there's some confusion as to how much difference amending this intersection will make for travelling on Fullerton Road itself, because you have that bottleneck up by Old Belair Road going past Scots College through there, which is probably the big problem there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very big bottleneck problem. This is a $61 million project here at Crossroads, Fullerton Road. The other intersection that needs to be looked at is Claremont and Kitchener Avenue, just up at behind Erbray High School, which is a big bottleneck issue as well. So if we are going to do these projects, let's actually do them appropriately. Well, let's look at how do we keep these beautiful pine trees here at the Arboretum. How do we keep a building that's 130 years old and is part of a legacy from Peter Waite, which is such an important legacy for this state and our educational institutions here at the Waite campus.
So these pine trees are going to go as well, are they?
That's my understanding. These trees here on Fullerton Road and the adjoining ones there on Cross Road as well.
Oh, okay, so let's spend steady at the corner of Fullerton and Crossroads talking about the future of the Gatehouse.